And welcome to the chat on Newsday Amarillo and News Channel 10-2. I'm David Lovejoy.
And I'm Chuckalicious, Chuck Williams.
Rhonda's away. She's got a doctor's appointment this morning, so she'll be back with us on Friday. Right now, we're joined by Mr. Kelly Giles. He's seeking the seat as the Republican Party chair in Randall County. Of course, early voting continues throughout this week until tomorrow. And then, of course, the big day on Tuesday. Mr. Giles, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Good morning.
Good morning. One of the things, just researching you a little bit and talking with you, one thing that you're really big on, and I think this is a dire need, participation. You want to get more citizens active and voting, get them to the booth, get them to participate in what we call government. Why is that so important for you?
Absolutely. Just so you know, in Randall County, we're having a huge turnout in the early voting in Randall County.
Right.
So I think, you have to start getting people aware. You have to go around and you have to talk with all the clubs. You have to really go through and inform people as how is our political system supposed to work, because so many people have lost touch.
Yes.
And just over time, I mean, times have been good.
Yes.
I mean, God bless America.
Right.
This is a great place to live, and especially in Texas, in the Texas Panhandle.
Yeah, exactly.
I chose to live here.
Right.
I moved here over 25 years ago. But back to your question on why is it important to get people out and participate? Because we, the citizens, want to drive politics and government. We do not want government to drive us.
Yeah, and that's what we're getting a lot of now. We're waiting. We're allowing policymakers to bicker and make the decisions that we should be accounting for.
Right.
So I want to hit you up with something right off the bat here, if that's okay. First of all, I want to reach out to all the people that have been in the wake of the fires.
Yes.
We want you to know we're praying for you. We love you. We've got you in our hearts and our minds. And I was at a meeting last night where we were talking about, what we need to send to those people, how we can support them and get out there to them. And so we were talking about that. And so just know, if you're out there, help is on the way. There are lots of ways to reach out if people want to give and contribute cash in the first 3 or 4 or 5 days. Cash is the biggest thing you can do. Clothes will come later.
Yeah.
Food, clothes, fencing supplies for the farmers and the ranchers. But there are a lot of people that don't farm and ranch that also lost their homes. Over 900 homes were lost. So we've got a big job to help our fellow Panhandle citizens here. So just know out there, we're thinking of you and we love you. Hang in there. Hang in there. And just keep going up, and every day get up, go do what you can do, and just keep going, because we're out there to help you. But anyway, I want to go back to why it's so important and what we've lost as a society. Times are so good.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna start. How much time have we got here?
You've got plenty.
All right.
You got about 10 minutes, so go ahead. I got time. Go ahead.
All right. So when we think back to how our country was founded, almost 250 years ago, all right? Supposedly we give credit to 1776,
right?
But that was just the Declaration. The Constitution came later. But anyway, we were and functioned as a one-party system from that time until 1824, when the Democratic Party was formed. So it's the oldest political party. And then the Republican Party came along in 1854. So we kind of have that binary situation. And hence George Washington, the original, he was the original president of the United States. He warned, he said, do not sign up or organize political parties. That is not healthy for our system.
Right.
So I've done as much research as I can, and I've got a lot more education that I could use in this area. So anyway, what we look at, and going back to the grand old party system, which I am driving that.
Right.
And in Randall County, where we have, guess what? We have big voting numbers coming out
Majority.
in Randall County in early voting. So we are functioning as a grand old party system under my direction, but it happened before I came along.
Right.
And so we vote about 75 to 80% Republican in Randall County. We're a big red county.
Yeah, big block.
So understanding Washington's theory of governance and political governance, as we lay this out, when you function as a grand old party system, you've got to understand that everybody has to have a voice. So that means everybody from liberal to fundamentalist, and I'll explain that in just a second.
Okay.
But it's liberal to fundamentalist, left to right, far left to far right.
Right.
And so a two-party system actually benefits the extremists.
Right.
The far left or the far right, it benefits the extremists.
Yeah.
And we, who I like to think I'm common sense,
Right.
and most people, that's about 70% of the electorate in any given general election is pretty close to the center, either just slightly left or slightly right. That's us. That's the majority.
That's the majority.
But we keep giving heed to these extremists.
Is outside,
And so, so coming back and understanding, okay, if we've got far left, we've got far right, and think of an umbrella. And if you think of a representative republic, which we are, and I make that point.
Yeah, makes sense.
We are not a democracy.
We're not a democracy.
We have never been a democracy.
We elect representatives to make our votes. Basically.
Absolutely. Now, that part is democratic, but it's not a democracy.
It's not a democracy.
So when we look at that, and I position myself as a conservative, and I'll explain that. So if you think of an umbrella, and you've got what comes under the umbrella, if you believe in a representative republic, you're under that umbrella.
Right.
Now, if you believe in socialism or fascism or dictatorship, no. You are not a representative republic theory in governance. You're not. So this is what makes us so special. So I position myself as a conservative. In other words, I'm right in the middle, always looking for solution, always looking for balance. The extremes tend to look for and grab for control.
Right.
And hence, that's where the representative republic comes in, and I always like to think, I'm the rod handle of the umbrella.
Yeah.
Me and many.
Yeah.
And so we look for that balance, and